Chicago Cubbies baseball fans. How is everybody doing on a Friday evening, the last day of February? Thank goodness. It's like Christmas for me today. After today, no more February, no more winter, no more cold. Hopefully for you guys, I say no more cold. We literally, guys, we are on the countdown to opening day. We are on the countdown to opening day 2.0. We are on the countdown to a lot, guys. And we got a lot to talk about in this episode. So, if I may, I would like to welcome all you guys right back to the channel of Cubs Baseball with Rye Knight. We got a lot to talk about and a lot of business to get settled. We will get into the Cubs game today in just a little bit. I just want to give you guys a little heads up. So tomorrow, and I'm saying this right now so I get it out of the way, right tomorrow, the Cubs will play their only split squad game of spring training. The Cubs game during the day will be the only Cubs game of tomorrow televised. They will play at home against the Guardians, a rematch from the 2016 World Series. That will be the day game. The night game is going to be where the Cubs were today at Surprise Stadium. They will take on the Kansas City Royals. That game will not be televised, but it will be on the radio, in case you want to listen to it on the radio. So tomorrow, we will have 2 episodes on this channel. We will have the first episode after Game 1. And then shortly before Game 2, we will do the next episode. That's out of the way. All right. A little bit into it, guys. So the Cubs were playing at Surprise Stadium. Beautiful Surprise Stadium in Surprise, Arizona, against the 2023 World Series champions, the Texas Rangers. And I got to be honest with you guys, heading into the game, the Cubs were 6-0-2. So they were 6 wins, no losses, 2 ties. And the Cubs were actually going into their final 3 outs, and they were down. They were not winning. They were losing. And boom! Travis Jankowski, thank you very much. I just broke my chair. Oh, no, that's not good. All right, now it's fixed. Okay. Travis Jankowski, thank you very much. He actually hits a 2-run bomb. He ties the game up at, I believe it was 9. Am I correct? I may have to double check on that. But the Cubs, there is good news and bad news to the game. The bad news is they did not win. The bad news is they did not win. But the good news is they did not lose. Therefore, there's only one other explanation that can happen. And I literally never thought I would actually be saying this, but for not a first, not a second, but a 3rd day in a row, the Chicago Cubs end in a tie. So hear me out. The Cubs will now be 6-0-3. 6 wins, no losses, 3 ties. I don't know what to say. I don't. Although this is their 2nd game ended in a tie on the road, but 3rd overall, I don't know what to say. But I do know to say this. We can't sing Go Cubs Go. But we can't fly the W. Maybe that is not good, all right? But we didn't lose. So let me ask you guys a question, okay? Name another team in the Cactus League. Well, no. That's not a fair question, okay? That's not a good question. That is so unfair to 29 other teams. Here's the more fair question. What team in spring training is 6-0? Because I only believe there are 30 teams in MLB, and only 29 of them are not 6-0. So my question is, who is is 6-0? Is it the Boise Hawks? Is it the Chicago Dogs? Is it YouTube Baseball Club? Or is it the Chicago Cubs? See, what I'm trying to get the answer to is Chicago Cubs are the only team in the Cactus League, but also the only team in all of spring training that is 6-0. They sit at 6-0 and now 3. And by God, I'm sorry, Cub fans, but I'm getting really sick and tired of the ties here. But on the positive, I would take a tie over a loss. But come 18 days, that can't happen. Come 27 days, that can't happen. All right? The Cubs are 18 days away from opening day. The Cubs are 18 days away from giving the defending World Series champions, the LA Dodgers, and no offense, Dodger fans, but we are only 18 days away from watching the Chicago Cubs kick and embarrass the Dodgers in Japan. The Cubs, and literally, I'm not being rude here, I'm just stating a fact. The Chicago Cubs are not going to fly their butts to Japan to lose. The Cubs are going to walk out of Japan 4-0. They will play 2 exhibition games. They will win those. That's a guarantee. And then they will play the Dodgers. And more. Isn't it going to be great to see the Dodgers lose? And then we come back to Sloan Park and the Cubs play 4 games at Sloan Park. And then the Cubs go to Phoenix for opening day 2.0 and they beat the Diamondbacks. They don't embarrass the D-backs, they just beat them. Okay? And then the Cubs go to the capital of California, Sacramento, and they beat the A's. And then the Cubs go to beautiful, magical, lovely, legendary, historical, memorable, lovable Wrigley Field. And they beat the Padres. And then you think that's the beginning. That's not even the beginning. We haven't even started yet. Guys, today is February 28th, 2025. And the Cubs still sit in a winning position. The Cubs still have a 1,000 winning percentage, which means, and I really hate to be rude, but I've got to be rude for a minute. The Rangers could not get the job done. And that is why the Cubs are still 6-0. So if you're a Cub fan like I am, the good news is we didn't lose. The bad news is we didn't win. And I will be fair, the Cubs didn't get the job done because they ended in a tie. And like I said, I already said it. I would take a tie over a loss, but come 18 days, that can't happen. Okay? Now, do I believe Shohei Ohtani is going to hit a home run off the Cubs in Japan? My answer is 1,000% yes. The Cubs will not beat Ohtani. But what about the rest of the Dodgers? You see, guys, don't get me wrong. Yoshi Yamamoto versus Shota Imanaga is a better pitching matchup than Roger Clemens versus Sandy Koufax. Just stating it. All right? There is one and only one Dodger that I respect. And when I say this, guys, I respect. Actually, I lied. There's 2. The 2 Dodgers that I will always respect, I will always love, I will always cherish is Jackie Robinson. Because in my mind, if you are a baseball fan and you are not a fan of Jackie Robinson, then you are not a baseball fan. And Vin Scully. And I got to be honest with you, okay? A lot of Cub fans, this is when Cub fans, shout at me. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, and I'm sorry to say this, Cub fans, I'm really sorry. It pains me to say it, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I picked Vin Scully over Harry Caray. And there is a reason. There is a reason behind it. Hear me out. Harry Caray is legendary. He is iconic. He is like one of the greatest of all time. That is not, that's a fact. But when you think of baseball and you actually think of the days of Jackie Robinson and Satchel Paige and Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris and all of that, and Joe DiMaggio and Lou Gehrig, and you think of all that, and then you put Vin Scully in it. I mean, guys, I'm just saying that. But you know what? Let's not get into that conversation, okay? The Chicago Cubs will end the month of February at 6-0. And that's what you guys need to realize. The Cubs are 6-0. They are the only team in the MLB right now, 6-0. And I know spring training doesn't count. I mean, Will Ferrell was a base coach for the Cubs, and he held a sign, and this pisses me off. And the sign read, "These games don't count." If the games don't count, then why in the world do we have games? Huh? Exactly. In my mind, and believe me, guys, Cub fans don't go to Sloan Park to see the Cubs end in a tie. They go there for 6 billion reasons. And reason number 1 is to see the Cubs play. Reason number 2 is to have a memorable time. Reason number 3 is to see the Cubs play. Reason number 4 is to see the Cubs play. Reason number 5 is to see the Cubs win and fly the W and sing the best song in baseball. Number 1 song in baseball is Go Cubs Go, just to let you know. But, yeah. So, you may not like me now. You may be a little upset with me about what I said. But you know what? I don't blame you for being upset with me. I don't. But I got to be honest with you guys. I have never felt as confident about the Cubs heading into a season than I do right now. It's that simple. I have never felt more confident in a sports team in my entire life than I am right now. I'm serious. I mean, literally. How cool is that? The Cubs end February 6-0. And I understand that they tied 3 times. But you know what, guys? If we're going to tie baseball games, we might as well enjoy it. Because in 18 days, we can't do that, right? Because in 18 days, we got to go and beat the Dodgers, who, by the way, we already have 2 wins over. So, let me say this. If you're a Dodger fan, there's a lot you should be worried about right now. Not only are you already 0-2 against the Cubs in 2025, not only are you the defending World Series champions, but you are facing a team that beat you in the playoffs in 2016. You are facing a team that already knows your fate in Japan. The Cubs are not going to Japan to play baseball. The Chicago Cubs are going to Japan for one reason only, and it's not to enjoy it. It's to win. All right? So my message to Dodger fans in Japan is you don't know what you're going to get. Cub fans, here's what Cub fans need to understand. The task in Japan is not easy. But if the Cubs are able to win 2 games in a row against the Dodgers, then it should not even be difficult to beat them in Japan. If the Cubs are able to get up in the morning and show up to work at 7 a.m. each and every day, then literally. Now, here's what I love about the Dodgers. They think they already know how they're going to win. They think they're just going to walk into Japan and beat the Cubs. You know what? If the Dodgers win 1 game in Japan, and that includes exhibition games in Japan, if the Dodgers do that, I will give them their flowers. I will do it anytime, anywhere, any place, on any channel. But that is if, and only if, the Dodgers do that. So Cub fans, here's what I'm going to say. Who's ready to watch the Cubs win? Who's ready for Chicago Cubs baseball? And who's ready for a Cubs W tomorrow? I am. Pick me, because I am. So, all right, Cub fans. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed my psychotic talking. Hope you guys are ready for a new month. Hope you guys are ready for a win. It is a split squad tomorrow. That kind of does make me nervous a little bit, but you know what? I'm going to take that nerves and I'm going to turn it into happiness and confidence. And who knows? Maybe the Cubs will actually win both games. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your Friday night. I will see you all tomorrow. Double episode tomorrow on the channel. We're going to have a grand old time.